And KWN Community TV Channel 7. The views and opinions on tonight's program are not necessarily those of the staff nor the management of KWN TV 7 and Dade County Broadcasting Incorporated. Now, let's go around town on KWN TV 7. Hello, everybody.
Here we are.
Around Town is on the air at KWN.
And it's not even that cold.
No, it's going to be really nice this weekend until we get to the weekend, and then it's going to be winter time again, from what I understand.
Well, I went to New York this past weekend with my son, and I got up there, and I get there, and it's 1 degree. 1 degree. And my friend's like, was it not cold enough where you were at?
Well, it was pretty cold back here. We were in the teens.
I bet it wasn't 1 degree. And then with the wind chill factor, they said it was probably like 10 below.
Well, did you have a good time?
Why, sure. You know, I always go up there to see my friend Muffy. But Dex and I went. In fact, he stayed. He's
a world traveler.
I know, and he's going to, he said he'd probably be home Wednesday. So I just went for the weekend.
Well, you got to get back to...
A mutual friend of ours was in a play. So I went to see that. And then another mutual friend of ours was having a birthday party.
Well, that's good.
So I had a fun-filled weekend.
Well, that is good. Well, let me update you, and I know you got several guests here on the show today. Let me update you a little bit of what's going on. Of course, we made the announcement 2 or 3 weeks ago about the Share Your Heart campaign.
I remember.
And we have been doing a series of remotes in Chattanooga. News 12, along with WFLI and KWIN, are wanting to collect as many heart-shaped boxes of candy. And we've got hundreds of them already collected. But it's going to take about 4,000 boxes of candy to distribute.
And they're going to the troops, right?
They're going to all the police officers here in the Tennessee Valley.
The troops was the last time.
No. Okay. All the police officers, the firefighters, EMTs, paramedics, and the local troop out of Tennessee or out of Chattanooga there, the Tennessee National Guard. They've got a couple of troops there. We're going to try to get them as many as we can. So we're going to share our heart with local heroes here in the Tennessee Valley.
I think that's a great idea.
It's a gesture. I mean, folks we've been like Friday afternoon, I was at the Battlefield Parkway, Port Oglethorpe Walmart, and folks were just pulling up and handing us $20 bills and say, go get hearts, and we'd go in there and get hearts, and we were just bringing them out. And they would go in, the shoppers would go in, they would buy them. You could buy 3, 4, 5, 20, whatever you want to do. And it's going to take a lot because we want to make sure that everybody in Marion...
Now, how big are they? I mean, are they doing them different sizes? Or
most of them are buying the small ones, which are only $1, but they got like 5 pieces of candy. Absolutely, you can buy them anywhere.
It's the thought and the gesture.
It's a total gesture.
Yeah.
Share your heart with a hero. I mean, even those small ones are that big.
Well, we have to do things like that. When we've got a former president that raised so much chaos and hatred and anger towards our heroes.
Well,
and you know, Evan, he did.
We've got an opportunity here in News 12, WFLI, and KWN to get thousands of boxes of these chocolates, and then Mountain View Chrysler Dodge Jeep in Ringgold are going to supply the vehicles, and Valentine's Day we're going to take all these hearts and distribute them to all the different police departments and fire departments.
And now our local ones are going to get it here.
Absolutely. And I wanted to tell you,
wonderful.
This week, this coming Friday morning, we're going to be at the Food City from 9 until noon. Patrick Core from News 12, Gene Lovin from WFLI, and a couple of us from here are going to be at the Trenton Food City from 9 until noon.
That's great.
Now, if you don't have a heart, you can go inside. Of course, they'll have them. Mm-hmm. And you can drop them off to us. So we'll be here in Trenton this coming Friday morning, February the 8th.
I think that's great.
And we want as many people as you can to come on out. Now, if you've already got some and you want to drop them off, you can drop them off locally at Real Living Southern Realty. They're at Mickey McBriar's location, right across from the CVS Pharmacy, or at Will's place, the Guthries. Both of them are helping us in this event. But if you got a place where you work, get everybody to give you money and go buy hearts, because it's going to take a lot of them.
I'm going to collect some.
We need to collect. Now, I will also tell you, if you're at a place that you can't be with us at any of our remotes and you can't get by Real Living or Real Living Southern Realty, or if you can't go by Guthrie's, we've got a place on the website, WFLIonline.com. That's WFLIonline.com. We got a place for donate. It's a button. It's a secure PayPal account specifically set up just for this. So if, say, there's a business wanted to, donate $200, they could go there and do that. Then that money, we're going to buy dollar hearts with every bit of money that is donated. It's WFLIonline.com. So if you can't, but we'd love you to come by, literally, we had folks just driving up, didn't even have to get out of their car. They were giving us money, to go inside and buy these hearts. So that's great. So this coming Friday morning at Food City, 9 until noon, Patrick Core, Gene Lovin, myself, we're going to be there broadcasting live on KWN AM and FM, and this coming Friday morning, February the 8th. And that's the one we're going to do here locally in Dade County.
Okay, I wanted us to talk about this a little bit. This is the resolution to modify the 65 and 5 senior tax exemption for the Board of Education. I want you to explain that to us, Evan.
Well, from what we understand, this past Friday, we were notified by the school board that they were going to have a special called meeting. It'll be coming up on Monday, which if you're watching live, it happens at 6 o'clock this evening on Monday. They're going to have a special called meeting. They're looking to modify. They met with Representative Colton Moore last week, and the process of modifying the 65 and 5, and that is or better known as the senior citizens exemption, is they're looking to
school tax exemption.
School tax exemption. They're looking to modify that, and there's a 3-step process. First,
before we lose you, understand this: if you receive that tax exemption right now, you are grandfathered in. This will not affect you.
Right. It will not affect anybody that is currently
I just
taking.
don't want seniors sitting at home and
that's already
getting,
on it
and getting scared.
Right.
I mean, like I can see my mother-in-law throwing the recliner.
No,
throwing the remote. What are they saying?
Anybody that is currently already on this exemption will be what they call grandfathered in. Now, there's a 3-step process. Okay, 3-step process. First of all, the Dade County Board of Education has to vote on a resolution, and they're scheduled to this evening. Then it will be given to Representative Colton Moore because it's a money issue. It'll start on the House side, and he met with I think a couple of members of the school board last week, and he's going to be presenting this to the legislature. And all they will be doing is giving it an opportunity to be voted on locally. So there's a 3-step process. The Board of Education votes for a resolution. It goes through the Assembly for a local piece of legislation to be voted on locally. And then at somewhere in the future, it'll go to the voters to be modified or not, depending on if the voters chose to do that.
Now, it'll go through Colton, and then it'll go through Jeff Mullis.
Right. It goes first because it's a money issue. It's a tax issue. It'll start in the House. It'll be approved in the House. It'll go to the Senate. And all of basically the House and the Senate, all of they're doing is allowing it to be a local issue here locally.
To be put on the ballot so that people can vote on it.
Exactly. So they're really not saying yay or nay. They're just saying, okay, the Board of Education, the governing body over the school, wants to try to modify this particular senior exemption, and it will go through the House and the Senate, and then it'll eventually be at the ballot box. So the voters
they're really
of Dade
going to have
County,
to get out here and explain it because, it's kind of one of them catch-22 things.
Well, we don't have the full exemption, or the full resolution as of yet, because they could change some things at their meeting tonight. But we will have it next week, and I do know that Dr. Harris has already told us that she would be happy to come on next week after they have
We'll have
voted
her
on
for sure.
and come on. But that's what they're doing. But as Monda said, anyone that is already has the exemption would be grandfathered in. You would not be affected at all. But keep in mind, it's voted on by the Board of Education. It goes to the legislature to be placed on a ballot. The local voters in Dade County will get to vote. So it can't be just changed.
And when they vote, it will mean that it changes going forward.
Right.
The people that are still on it, I repeat, the people that already has this will not be affected. No matter how the vote goes.
That's right.
They will not be affected.
Yeah, that's it'll be, and it's got to be approved by the voters. So the Board of Education will make a resolution. They will ask for a local piece of legislation to be voted on. It goes to the House, and then at some point in time down the road, it'll be voted on by the voters. Just like the original one was put on the ballot to be voted in, this is the same exact way, with the exception the first one was done by the county commission and not the school board. But, I mean, that's a whole other thing. But so the process will begin. They sat down with Representative Colton Moore last week, and he said that he would put it through to give everybody a right to vote on it. So, I mean, so it is, be able to go through like that. So, anyway, we'll know more after they vote this evening. And of course, then it's, there's not going to be a vote next week. I mean, it'll be put on a ballot somewhere down the line.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Okay. Well, thank
Hope that
you.
explains
And we have three great guests. We have Mr. Keith Ware that's going to come on from Edward Jones Investments. He's going to, hey, if you got some money laying around, he can talk to you and help you increase it.
Well, if I got it, maybe he can help me find it. If I've got any money laying around, I need him to help me look for it.
Okay, and then we have Sybil on. She is the new manager, if you've not seen her at Thatcher's, and she's implemented a few different things there, and she's going to come on to tell us about that. That is, I guess that's probably our hottest restaurant around here is Thatcher's. I would say, and I mean, hey, I don't want nobody getting mad at me for saying that, but I just would say that,
For barbecue.
Maybe I shouldn't say that.
For barbecue, no doubt.
Well, I mean, they're just tried and true.
Well, I tell you what, they definitely stay busy on the square up there.
Oh, constantly.
Definitely.
And Melanie, the owner, is so good about reaching out to the community. She does so much in this community. It's just it's unreal at how many people she feeds, how many events she hosts.
I'll tell you, they got some good food. I mean,
she's just she's really a big team player in the community. And I'm not saying the other people are not, but I'm just saying I know she is. And then we have Jessica Castillo Westmoreland, and man, she's been on here for different things in the past. I mean, she's from one thing to the next.
So I guess you'll find out why she's on today coming up.
Yeah,
so stay close.
Yeah, you will. So we're going to take a quick break and get started. And thank you, Evan, for explaining that. And listen, next week we'll have Dr. Jan Harris on here, the school superintendent, and she will go into complete detail. We'll tell exactly what the tax exemption is about, what it does,
and then what they're wanting to modify it at. They're not wanting to do away with it. If you'll notice, the resolution is to modify, not do away with it.
Right.
So, and we'll know after the school board votes.
Right.
All right.
Okay. We'll be right back.
Landers McLarty Ford of Fort Payne is your destination for quality automobile service. Landers McLarty is second to none when it comes to service on your vehicle. You can drop by and see us on Glen Boulevard Southwest in Fort Payne. Call our service department at 256-845-1101 or schedule an appointment online at LandersMcLartyFordFortPayne.com. So whether you drive a Ford or any other make of car, SUV or truck, see our ASE certified and Ford factory trained technicians today at Landers McLarty Ford in Fort Payne.
A time-tested financial institution equipped with the latest banking technology. The Bank of Dade, with mobile banking to fit your on-the-go lifestyle. Download our latest app today for your iPhone, Android, or tablet to bank on the go. Check your balance, pay bills, make deposits, and keep track of your account anytime and anywhere with the Bank of Dade's smartphone app. Make life easier by using today's most advanced banking technology to your advantage. Call us at 657-6842 or visit on the web at bankofdade.com. Your hometown bank since 1956, the Bank of Dade. Main office is on Highway 11 North in Trenton, and drive-thrus on Highway 11 North and Highway 136 West. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Innovation and quality. Two things you don't normally hear about in a recruitment ad, but you'll hear a lot about innovation and quality when you join the team at Vanguard National Trailer. Vanguard is an industry leader in the production of dry van trailers and composite plate trailers.
And right now, Vanguard National Trailer is hiring energetic and hardworking team members to be assemblers and welders, as well as industrial maintenance for first shift openings.
And you'll work a full 40-hour week in 4 days, which means 3-day weekends. And overtime is available. Working at Vanguard National Trailer has other great benefits too, like paid holidays, paid vacation, medical, dental, vision, and life insurance, plus a 401k plan.
Full-time work, 3-day weekends, available overtime, and great benefits. That's Vanguard National Trailer.
Fill out your application today. Vanguard National Trailer is an equal opportunity employer.
Apply in person today. Starting pay $10 to $14 an hour, depending on position. Vanguard National Trailer Corporation, Highway 11 North, turn beside the Premier Healthcare Center on Vanguard Drive.
Hey, that cold weather is coming, and it's never too early to get your winter supplies from Rising Fawn Hardware and Supply. 4300 Highway 11 South in Rising Fawn. Everything you need to wrap pipes under the house. Winterize around the doors. Make sure your outside faucets are protected, and keep those drafts from coming through the windows. Get your supplies for fall and winter for the home and farm today. Rising Fawn Hardware and Supply. 4300 Highway 11 South in Rising Fawn. Telephone 706-462-2071.
We are back with Sybil, and she is the manager at Thatcher's Barbecue. And Sybil, now since you've come there, you made a few changes.
I have.
Okay, the one that I love the most is the soups you have. Even though I don't eat a lot of the different soups, I love knowing I have that option. And when you do have one that I really like, I love that. But you know, I'm just a real picky eater, so I don't eat a lot of different ones, but they're all homemade.
They are from scratch.
So tell us, like, what do you have today?
Today we have Southern Succotash. So it's chicken, bacon, lima beans, and corn, and it's a little bit of a creamy soup.
And it has a bacon taste.
It does. It has bacon in it.
I noticed that it had that.
Yeah.
Had that bacon taste. Now, is that something you're going to continue through the year, or just while it's cold, or?
While it's cold. But we're also having other specials now.
Like?
Like today we have a turkey bacon ranch wrap. Last week we had the Mac Attack, and that was like a macaroni and cheese in our brick house.
Now, what's the brick house?
The brick house is brisket, beef brisket,
Oh, okay.
smoked to perfection, of course. And then we made a special sauce for this big, huge 1 pound
Everything's huge
burrito.
at Thatcher's.
Yes, everything's huge at Thatcher's.
Well, now, how well did it go?
Oh, we've sold them like crazy.
Well,
Like
that's
crazy.
good.
So I'll be bringing that back, of course. Another one of our specials that we've been having regularly are our smoked tacos. They're like street tacos, corn tortillas with a choice of our
Now,
pork
when you
or our
say
chicken.
street tacos, what do you mean by street tacos?
I mean, they're basic tacos like you would
Oh,
get
okay.
if you were in Mexico, with just cilantro and onions
Okay.
and the smoked meat and
What kind of meat is it?
pork or chicken.
Pork or chicken?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes. Served with our like a salsa verde. We smoke the jalapenos on the smoker and then make the salsa.
Well, that sounds
Yeah.
good.
Really good.
So those are just now they're
Those are-
specials. They're
they're
not really. They're
specials.
not additions to the menu.
They're
but
not
they're
additions,
specials.
yes, and those change. I try to do at least 2 a week, 2 specials a week.
Well, it gives people a different
Yeah,
variety.
it just gives you a different choice.
Well, now, so you've been at Thatcher's how long now?
Since July.
Oh, so you've been there a little while now.
I
I keep
have.
saying you're new, but you're really not that new anymore.
Not
are you?
anymore. I'm getting old now.
Well, one thing. Listen, if Jane Carroll Odell's watching, tell her what you've done over there.
Oh, Miss Jane came to see me already.
Oh, did she?
Yes, she did.
Jane complained about the seats.
Yes, it was a worthy complaint.
It was. It sure was.
But we got that taken care of.
Yeah, the seats are all fixed. They have all brand new seats
We
now.
do. She came in and saw them, and she was very impressed.
Well, they look good.
They do look
great.
good.
You've got a good crew over there right now.
I do
don't
have
you?
a good crew, and it's getting better every day.
It is. So, and now, again, tell us the hours.
So we are open from 11 to 9, Monday through Saturday.
Well, that's simple. No Sundays.
No Sundays.
Okay, 11 to 9.
Mhm.
Open up at 11. Okay, well, Sybil, we just wanted you to come on here and tell about your soups. And
So, Monda, I'll be making your favorite soup this week.
what is my favorite soup?
Your favorite soup is just a traditional chicken and rice soup.
That's exactly right. I love that chicken.
And I will
rice.
have that for you on Wednesday.
Okay.
And our other soup for the week will be a broccoli
but
cheese
now, you know,
soup.
don't spice it up.
I know,
Do it
I
like
gotta
you did
keep it.
before.
That's right.
Yes. Oh, now listen, when she has that, and it's going to be Wednesday,
Wednesday,
the broccoli, the
chicken and
chicken
rice.
and rice soup is to die for.
It is good.
I mean, it's the best I've ever had.
And a fresh cornbread muffin just for you.
Just no sugar in the cornbread.
No sugar in the cornbread.
Yeah, we like regular old cornbread. Okay. Well, Sybil, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. We'll be back with Mr. Keith Ware.
I got up. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank Marion Countyans will ever need. At 402 North Cedar Avenue in South Pittsburgh, 4765 Main Street in Jasper, and at 14087 Highway 28 in Whitwell. Providing the highest standard of customer services with a personal touch. Our associates can help you with personal loans, personal lines of credit, a variety of mortgage loans, and more. And we offer real-time internet banking too. See us in South Pittsburgh, Jasper, and Whitwell today. Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank Marion Countyans will ever need. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Check out these specials right now at Cloud Auto Sales, Higdon, Alabama. Just in time for tax time. Check out these exciting specials. 2008 GMC Sierra SLE Z71 4-wheel drive crew cab with alloy wheels, black interior, only $15,500. 2009 Hyundai Limited Leather with a sunroof, third row seat, only 131,000 miles, only $69.95. A 2006 Chevy Impala V6 with air, real good tires, alloy wheels, drives and runs great. Only $24.95. Hurry to Cloud Auto Sales. Warranties available. Highway 71, Higdon. Like us on Facebook or call today 597-2373. Come see Rayburn Cloud today before you buy at Cloud Auto Sales on Sand Mountain.
When you or a loved one is facing a life-limiting illness, hospice care may be the answer. At Tapestry Hospice, the patient is the focus of our care. We are here to serve you and facilitate your wishes. Tapestry caregivers are concerned with managing your pain, keeping you in touch with your physician, and helping you make plans for the future. Hospice is life-affirming, and Tapestry Hospice can help you deal with all aspects of life, mind, body, and soul. Call Tapestry Hospice for more information. 706-383-8812. That's 706-383-8812. Tapestry Hospice. Redefining hope. When you need a licensed plumber, call Stacy Ledwell and the staff at Mr. Rooter in Scottsboro. Mr. Rooter provides your home or business with advanced solutions using high-tech equipment. Our commitment to customer satisfaction shines through in our personalized service. When you schedule an appointment, our professionals will dedicate time to explain the work that has to be done. Our staff will give you upfront pricing, so you'll know exactly what's involved before any work begins. We even pump septic tanks and do new construction on houses. Fully licensed, bonded, and insured, Mr. Rooter in Scottsboro. Call Stacy Ledwell today to set up an appointment at 256-574-4710.
We are back on Mr. Keith Ware of Edward Jones. And, you know, the thing about you, Keith, I noticed this. I see you walking all over town. You're the only one out walking around with your suit and tie on all the time.
I get that a lot.
Yeah, you're kind of like, you've become like a little pillar in the community, you know, but a constant, you know, there's several people that walks, but I see you walking all the time and you've always got that suit and that tie
Keep the
on.
suit and tie on. That's exactly correct. You know, I think that's one thing that maybe sets me apart.
Well, it projects a very professional image.
Well, thank you.
I mean, that's what I think. I mean, just like, hey, I'm going to give our president a plug here. I mean, even, whether it be a Democrat or Republican, the last few presidents we've had have just kind of toned it down and gotten very comfortable, and I love turning the TV on and seeing my president in a suit and a tie. It just kind of, has that built-in credibility, that professionalism.
I try my best to portray that, especially when we're talking about people's finances.
Well,
I think that's very important.
Yes. So, okay, so Keith, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure thing. I actually grew up mountains of North Carolina, and met my wife here in Dade County.
Now tell us who your wife is.
Sure. Her name's Krista Hartline. So she
Heartline.
Yeah, she's a Heartline. So she actually grew up here, and I actually was traveling with doing some youth camps, and actually came to this area, and that's how I met her. And pretty unique
So
how
now
things happen.
you was doing some youth camps with some missions group, or
It was a group out of Atlanta area, and we had flew in from Colorado one night and came up actually to Sand Mountain Bible Camp up on the mountain.
Really? I didn't know that.
And she was there, and within
rest
2
is
days,
history.
the rest is history. It's pretty neat.
What
Yeah,
about that?
Sure
So
enough.
how long have you been married?
Married for 13 years now. So been married for 13 years, 2 boys, and live
So
here in the community.
have you lived here for the 13 years?
Moved here in 08. So
Okay.
actually almost 11 years now.
Okay.
Moved here to the area, and I had worked actually with a previous bank before, a regional bank in Chattanooga
Mm-hmm.
area. The opportunity came to open Edward Jones' office right here in Trenton, and it's been pretty phenomenal. I started out of my house, and now
Well,
I have
now,
the office on the square.
Before you go forward,
Sure.
I want to your claim to fame is this, in my mind,
Okay.
is he is the brother-in-law to Mr. Chad
That's true. That's true.
from the Sweet Peas.
Sweet Peas Learning Center.
Yes.
Yeah, right here in Trenton.
Listen, our viewers know who Mr. Chad is, and I'll tell you how they know. Because my little grandsons have been coming on here
Okay.
since birth. And now, when they started Sweet Peas,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Chad is like everything. So they would come on here and talk about Mr. Chad.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right.
to children, Mr. Chad is just like bigger than life, I think.
He is. He's a great guy.
Him and his wife Jenna too.
Yep.
They're wonderful. So I just wanted to kind of give you a little bit of history there.
yeah.
So he can't be bad if he's related to Mr. Chad.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy.
Okay, so you started Edward. So Edward Jones. Tell us a little bit about the history
Sure.
of Edward Jones.
Sure. So Edward Jones, it's a firm. We're a partnership that actually been around since 1922.
Oh, I've heard of Edward Jones. They're everywhere.
They are. We actually have 17,000 financial advisors in the U.S. and Canada now.
I started to say. I remember when I was in Canada, there was a. Is that their home office?
Home office is St. Louis, actually.
Because this was a huge firm there.
Yeah, we have several different offices. Our structure out of St. Louis, we do have 17,000 financial advisors, and by all means, we are, as financial advisors, we usually work and live in the same community. We found that to be very effective.
I can see that.
And one thing that I
You
share
can build
with
up
people,
the trust.
trust. It is built upon a relationship. One thing that I share with people is we live in the community. We see our clients on a continual basis. We want to involve ourselves in their life and be able to help them. And as I share that with people, one thing I tell people about Edward Jones is we're a partnership. So therefore, back in the 80s, Sam Walton, of course, had Walmart going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Ted Jones Jr. actually had the opportunity of going public with the company. And his response was, I don't need people to share in the profits. I need people to share in the partnership. He gave his company away. I think that's pretty phenomenal. His response was, I have everything I need, and I have a plaque in my office that says, money will never be my God. And so truly, in his mind, in his wife's mind, they wanted to give the company away. So to this day, we still are a partnership. So our clients come first, and we don't have to be focused on trying to maybe help shareholders out. It's built within.
Well, I know, and I can say I know that to be a fact. We've done some business together, and I have found you very pleasant.
Well, I
Very
appreciate
pleasant.
that. I appreciate that.
Okay, we've got tax time coming up. What's something that people can do during tax time that would benefit their retirement? Maybe that would be just something you could.
Sure.
Elaborate on.
I tell people I'm not the tax professional. However, I do help people many times when it comes to looking at the opportunity of taxes. So many times people may contribute to your IRA at this time of year. You know, you're in a tax bracket and you have some money sitting on the sidelines to be able to put into an IRA, maybe to cut some of those taxes. Now's a great time to do that. And you know, when you focus in on doing that, it allows your taxes possibly now to be cut from having to pay them now and then pay them later on when your tax bracket's even lower.
Okay, so if you would fund your IRA,
Correct?
would that put you in a lower tax bracket?
It's possible it could help save on some taxes. It may not
Okay.
necessarily decrease your tax bracket, but it could help you save on some taxes, possibly.
Well, and another program that you and I have talked about a little bit that I found really interesting, you know, with the rising cost of tuition with colleges, I mean, you hear about it. It's a constant thing.
Sure.
It's a constant thing. Tell me about this plan you have for children, a college fund.
Sure thing.
Now, it's a little different than a savings account.
It is. It's geared directly toward college education. It's called 529 College Savings Plans. Many different states actually have 529s that they administer. But what it allows, the basics of what this does, Monda, it allows you to put money into a college saving plan, maybe for a child, maybe a grandchild, maybe a niece, nephew, whomever that may be, and all the earnings of that money over time will work tax-free if used for college expenses. So tuition, room, board, those type of expenses.
Now, when you're saying it will work tax-free, explain that.
Let's just use we'll use a good round number. $10,000 goes into a 529. If that $10,000 grows to $20,000, just using an example for numbers, that extra $10,000 in earnings is tax-free if it's used for education expenses. So you never pay taxes on those earnings.
Okay, so if the child reaches college age,
Correct.
and just say this child doesn't go to college that you've actually saved this money for, what happens to the money?
There's
What are
various
the options?
Sure. There's various options. It could possibly go to a sibling, so that's a great option.
Is there any penalty for that?
A lot of that can depend upon the company. Usually not, but as far as a concrete answer, it does depend upon which company you decide to use. The other option would be, it can always be later on. So maybe a person goes back to school when they're 22, 23, 25. Still have that option. Or if it's never used, if a child's born, it could go to the next generation. So there's many options to look at.
Okay, is it an option to get the money back?
It always is an option. That's always an option to get the funds back. At that point, we just have to sit down and look at what.
So there may be some taxes involved
That's
on
right.
what you make.
That's right.
But it's not one of those things where you put the money in. If your child doesn't go to college, you lose the money.
No,
it's
no,
not like
no,
a
no.
gambling
No,
thing.
no.
I mean, but there's
understand.
people that would think that.
Sure. No, this is most definitely, and this is really where I would tell people what we do at Edward Jones. As I go about, and maybe I'll have come to your home and knocked on your door, because that's what I do. That's a way for us to be able to get our brand out, Edward Jones, as well as let people know how can I assist them.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing that we like to do is truly, number one, find out what's important to people. Because when it comes to finances, sometimes people are open to conversations, sometimes not. We want to find out what's important to you. And that's built upon a relationship of trust. If we can build a relationship of trust and get our feet wet with somebody, we start finding areas what is important to you. We find those solutions. But I tell people, Wanda, this is most important to me, showing people our established process. It's a process that we do. It's not come in and let's discuss about everything under the sun. We're talking about you and your future. So when we find out what's important to you, we look at those processes. And then my third commitment that I give to people is, how am I going to partner with you throughout life on your finances? Now, I'm not talking about for the next 3 years. I'm talking about for the next 35 years, the next 40 years of your life. we're setting in our processes, we're setting specific goals and strategies to help meet those needs over time. So as I tell people, I feel that's very important. And here's something else I would share, especially being on the square here in Trenton.
Okay.
You have a 657 phone number that you can call. You don't have to call an 800 number and get somebody
And
that
get
you
a
don't.
recording.
You actually can reach me or my business partner there at the office.
Or you can get out and look around and we'll see you walking up the street.
Well, that's true too. That is very
He's
true
the
too.
only one with the suit and the tie. It's
very
walking
true.
Up and down the street.
You know, ideally we bring Wall Street to Main Street. And a lot of times people think they have to go.
I like that.
People many times think they may have to go, other places.
But I think here, or I know myself, I like that. I like to keep things home.
I think it's very important for the relationship that you can build with people.
Right.
I think that's very important. Building a relationship with people, and there's many different areas as we go back, what's important to you. When I do sit down with somebody, the first thing I look at is a risk tolerance questionnaire. Some people's very conservative, some people's not. I want to find out what's important to you. If you can lay your head down at night, that's great. But when we work together and I can lay my head down at night and you can lay your head down at night, then we're on a working relationship
Got a great
together.
partnership.
Absolutely.
Well, that's good. Well, now, Keith, how would they reach you?
Yes, the best way is our office number, which is 657-2477, and that's 657-2477. Also, our office is actually next to our previous speaker, which is Thatcher's. We're in the old Ace Hardware on
yeah.
the square, and we're open from 8 to 5 Monday through Friday.
So you're not hiding anywhere. You're right there.
We're right here on the square.
Have a very nice office. And your assistant there, what's her name?
Her name's Shirley.
Shirley.
That's right.
So they could just kind of drop in. You take walk-ins, I'm sure.
We
don't
take
you?
walk-ins. We'll take phone calls. And I will tell you, I always offer this. I'm reminded of the doctor man who used to get on horseback and go around to the community.
Mm-hmm.
Truly, I say this: if people want to meet at their homes, or maybe, health-wise not able to get out, I'm open to meeting with folks. If the opportunity comes up after a phone conversation, if that's what best fits them, I'm open to do that.
Okay. All right. You hear that? This is Mr. Keith Ware with Edward Jones. And he's right up here on the square, and his number again is 657
2477.
2477.
That's correct.
If you're interested in talking about some financial planning, please give Keith a call. Okay, we'll be right back.
Thank you, Monday.
The Trenton Telephone Company is alerting customers that a mandatory 10-digit calling in the 706 area code will soon begin. That means if you live in the 706 area code, you'll be required to dial all 10 digits on your telephone. The 10-digit dialing will be toll-free, and there will be no charge to you. The switchover for the Trenton Telephone customers will begin on February the 27th, and you'll be required to use all full 10 digits to dial your local telephone number. If you have any questions, call the Trenton Telephone Company at 706-657-4367.
Join Back Home at the Princess Theater on February 16th for a 10-year anniversary CD release concert featuring Reba McEntire's band, Jeff King, Trey Gray, Jim Kimball, Jason Webb, and Mark Hill. And enjoy comedy from Christian comedian Aaron Wilburn. Tickets are $25 in advance. Purchase online now at backhomesings.com. It's Back Home, February 16th at the Princess Theater in South Pittsburgh. Brought to you by New Beginnings Church and Tower Community Bank. Lemon's Mexican Restaurant is now open in Henniker, Alabama at 50 Lloyd Cry Drive. Karaoke on Thursday nights, $6 lunch specials, and catering is available. How about delivery? Yep, delivery is available with a minimum of 5 orders. Happy hour 2 to 5 Monday through Friday. And private party hosting is available with 2 locations to serve you in Henniker and Crossville. Lemon's Mexican Restaurant. Call 256-657-3999. Why go online when you can have it today at Valley Liquidation Center, 321 Browns Ferry Road off I-24. We purchase truckloads of merchandise from large .com retailers and your local home remodeling stores and sell it all at 50% off retail. At Valley Liquidation Center, we have everything you need for home decor, furniture, bath, kitchen, flooring, outdoor furniture, tools, and so much more. And if you have a question, actually talk to someone in person instead of an anonymous person online or an email. Family owned and operated. Valley Liquidation Center, 321 Browns Ferry Road, Suite 125, 423-269-6444.
The Moore family name has built a legacy of trust, compassion, and peace of mind by standing with families during time of loss. Now in our 70th year, the Moore family commitment grows even stronger, from affordable, traditional services to cremation. Our experienced staff stands ready to follow through on you and your family's wishes. Since 1945, the Moore family of funeral homes, North Sand Mountain and Trenton, always dedicated to those we serve.
Okay, we're back with Jessica. Now, Jessica, tell us what you're doing now.
I'm doing tax preparation for Tax Masters 101, located next door to Discount Flooring.
Which is right up here.
Yeah, right up here off Main
Yeah,
Street.
with the turtle.
With the turtle.
The turtle.
Everybody loves the turtle.
I know.
He's out there holding balloons right now.
I know. This is the third year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's building and getting bigger and better.
It's busy. We're offering up to $5,000 advance. It's not guaranteed to everybody now, but you can come in and try for it. It costs nothing to try.
Okay. Okay. So tell us what sets you apart from the other tax people besides the turtle.
We will match anybody's prices. It doesn't matter if you paid $50 or whatever. We'll match your price from last year. We won't turn anybody away. You can bring in a Rubbermaid tub full of receipts, and I'll sit down and go through it. And if you don't like what I say, you can take it somewhere else.
Now that's the thing that I loved about her.
Mm-hmm.
She said, Tara, which is over the office, she said,
she's my boss. Yes.
Yeah. She said, if people will come see me,
yeah,
I'll do their taxes. If they don't like what I say, I'll give them back to them, and
Yeah.
they can take them somewhere else, and they don't owe me a dime.
Nope.
So I know she's really putting it on the line there.
Yeah.
So, and y'all been really busy.
We've been super busy. We've been slammed the last week, especially. People are starting to get their W-2s they had till the 31st. Hopefully their employers got them out to them by the 31st to get their W-2s and their 1099s, everything they need to file their taxes. So we've been real busy.
Well,
These next 3 weeks are really the peak time.
Well, tell me real quick. Talk to me about some things, some taxes.
So there's new tax deductions this year for individuals, $12,000. For head of household is $18,350, and for married is $24,400. So that's new this year. Also, there'll be some changes for some individuals who are filing single, or some people who don't have dependents on their tax returns. They may not be getting back as much in their return this year because of the new tax law where Trump put more in our pockets during the year and get less at the end of the year, obviously, now. But that's pretty good for them to get their money throughout the year, I think.
Hey, I'm all for that. I don't want the government holding my money.
Yeah.
I mean, if I get a refund, I don't ever, but if I were to, years ago I used to, and when I would get a refund, I refigured my taxes for the next year because I don't want them keeping my money.
Yeah.
I want mine.
You want your money throughout the year.
Yeah, I
think that's how everybody kind of wants it. What we get at the end of the year is kind of just a bonus, I think we really want it throughout the year, though. There's a new child tax credit this year for $2,000. It went up $500. It was $1,500 last year.
Really? Well,
so
that's
you
great.
get $2,000 for taxes. This is the last year for the insurance penalty for Obamacare. This is the last year, so if you didn't have insurance, this will be the last year that we'll have to ask you if you had insurance.
Was that not the craziest thing?
Well, it's so expensive.
But for them to charge people if they didn't have it.
Mm-hmm. And it's $695 for adults and $365 for children if they didn't have it.
That's so crazy.
And it's per adult. So if you're in a household of 4 and you had 2 kids who had insurance, but maybe the adults didn't,
well,
that adds up pretty quick.
When that whole deal came out, and there was people flocking to it because we had people that work for us that was like, oh, I can go to Obamacare and it's cheaper even when we paid half of their insurance. We paid half of their insurance and they paid half. Well, they could go to Obamacare and it was less than the half they were paying. So it was really a hard thing, but I remember Nathan telling some of the folks that worked for him, he was like, y'all, this it can't sustain itself. It can't.
No.
And I remember him saying, well, I'll tell you, if this is what I'm going to do. If you want to leave, if you want to go there, I'm going to go ahead and give you a huge raise because the half that I'm paying now, I'm going to go ahead and give you that on your salary because once you leave, you're with them.
Well, and you can file
and every year, and it's went up, and now it's just astronomical.
It is. It goes up every year, and you can file for an extension, but an exemption from the penalty. But just if you're thinking about somebody who's maybe 21 years old out there, maybe they don't think they need insurance. They're young. They don't. Maybe they can't afford it, but they're having to pay $695 at the end of the year. That's a lot.
I really think that everybody needs to have insurance if at all possible. But if a person don't have it, like you said,
I think it's really a matter of their own
21-year-old,
opinion.
and then you hit them for $700.
When that might be all they're getting at the end of the year, depending on what they make throughout the year. That might be what their return was, and now they're having to give it away.
Hey, and and before Trump went in office, half of them was sitting at home not even working.
That's true.
So.
This is the last year for that, so I'm pretty thankful for that. There's a lot of people that come in, they're like, they didn't have insurance, they're worried about what they're gonna get charged for it because, like I said, it can add up quick if you have a couple adults in your household that don't have insurance.
So it will be gone after this year.
This is the last year.
Thank the good Lord above.
Yes, thank the Lord. That's what I say too. And we already talked about the Tax Act with Trump. He's putting more money in our pockets throughout the year. So, like I said, some people who are either single or they're married filing jointly, don't have dependents, they might not get as big of a return back this year because
but it's because they got the money earlier in the year.
Got the money throughout the year. Yeah.
So okay, well tell me what your hours are.
We work 9 to 5. I'm usually there till 6, but the concrete hours are 9 till 5.
But if you have people coming in,
I'm not going to turn you away. I'll stay there till 9 o'clock at night. My son wrestles at the wrestling room right up the street, so I'm going to be down here anyway. I'll stay there until the door shuts and I lock, or till we get kicked out, I guess. And we also have the PATH Act. This is the last year for that.
Now, what is that?
The IRS put that into place because there were so many people who were claiming kids that they weren't supposed to be claiming, just to get the money.
Now, how were they claiming these kids?
Well, the IRS changed it where now they have to be blood relative, grandchild, they have to be related to you somehow. Where before it could, they were claiming, their girlfriend's kids or their, what I mean, or other people's kids.
You're kidding.
Yes, and the IRS has really cracked down on it.
So what would happen then if a person had children and they didn't work, so they wasn't going to file taxes? They wouldn't be claiming these children, so they'd let somebody else claim them.
Right. So say you were in a situation you didn't work, but you had like 3 kids, but I worked, and you wanted me to claim your kids. That's what people were doing, and they were getting big old tax refunds.
But why would I want someone to claim my kids?
Well, because that person that was doing that with you, you'd think the potential would be that they were going to give them that cut of the money. Because if you didn't earn anything throughout the year, you can't file. So if you didn't have a job, even though you have 3 kids, you can't go in and say, I didn't work all year, but I'm going to claim my 3 kids and get some money back.
But isn't the child supposed to live with you?
Yes, at least half the year, and you're supposed to provide for that child for at least half the year.
So it was actually tax fraud.
Right. So the IRS is seriously cracking down on it.
Okay, and that's
now it's called the PATH Act. This is the last year they're going to do it, though. I think they've because now they've gotten the new place. It has to be a blood relative of you to claim that child. So it's called the PATH Act. So anybody who filed their taxes that has an earned income credit, qualified for earned income credit, and the child tax credit, which boosts it up. Most of the time it's head of household cases, and that's why they're looking at it because, you're a person, you've got all these kids, and you're going to get earned income credit plus child tax credit. They're going to hold your refund until the 15th of February at the latest. You're going to kind of most of the time they're done processing when the 15 hits. They're kind of like just they're dumping the basket out per se.
Well, now, speaking of the 15th, we could actually have a government shutdown, couldn't we?
Yes,
now,
and that's why
when the government shut down, the IRS shut down, didn't it?
Well, the IRS did shut down, but they were operating at 50% capacity still. They still had people there, but they weren't getting paid. But they were still there, and so they're really
had to slow things down.
Yeah,
at 50%. Had to slow things down.
Yeah. So the 15th, we'll have a looming shutdown on the 15th. We don't know what's going to happen. I know that they process it through till now. They were operating through the shutdown before, that it wasn't going to affect refunds. So, but we don't know what's to come on the 15th if they can't come to an agreement on border security.
So, what are you saying? People need
I'm saying you need to come in and file now so that you're done processing by the time all this happens. So come see me
Because
down there.
Oh
Mhm.
wow! Because
Because if they shut down and they don't come to an agreement with the IRS that they're going to stay open, it could
and
delay.
we don't know how long it'll be.
We
shut
don't
down.
know that. It was 35 days last time, right? I think it was about 35 days.
Oh wow!
So yeah, you need to come see me before the looming shutdown.
So if you have, so when you come to file your taxes, you need your.
Your ID, Social Security card.
I know you told me you had someone come the other day that didn't even have an ID.
Didn't have nothing. No ID, no social, no nothing. But
And
you
they
have
wanted to file taxes.
They wanted to file their taxes.
How can you do that by
You
law?
can't. You can't do that. It's not law. So when you come see me, you need to bring all your income information. You need to bring your W-2, 1099, miscellaneous 1099, whatever you get from your business. Anything you got in the mail, 1099Rs, anything. IRAs, like Keith was talking about, they're sending out those. IDs, Social Security card for yourself, Social Security card for all your dependents.
Oh.
Yes. So, and all your tax information. And if you, like I said, if you want to bring in a bucket of receipts and you think you're going to have to pay, we'll plug in it all and we'll see. We'll try to get it as low as we possibly can.
Now the bucket of receipts, that would be like if you.
It's kind of like if you were, like
for
say you were
deductions, you're doing the long
right.
form.
So say you were a home health nurse and you went to people's houses and your company paid you a 1099 because they didn't take taxes out on you.
Oh, okay.
Or something. You could file your mileage. You could file your
Telephone.
scrubs. Whatever you use for work to get that amount that you think you're going to have to pay at the end of the year down.
Now, you can file, like if you pay for health insurance, you
Mm-hmm.
get to use that as a deduction, don't you?
Well, yes, you just don't really have to pay the penalty. But you can, if for insurance, if you're filing your insurance, you can use co-pays as a deduction if you're having to pay at the end of the year.
Okay, but like, just say, you're paying $1,200 a month insurance.
Mhm.
Can't you count that?
As long as it's not getting, like you were saying, it's matched by your employer.
No, mine's not.
Okay, well, I'm talking about your employees.
Yes.
Right. So they can file that portion they're having to pay.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So whatever you're having to pay.
Right. Mhm.
And then you can pay, you know, it amazes me.
Co-pays, prescriptions, all of it. Dental, hospital stay, all of it.
Mileage to and from the
Mileage,
doctor.
yes.
And
a lot of
mileage
people
is
don't
like-
know, if you're taking care of your parent and you're financially responsible for them, you can claim them too, with their permission, obviously.
Lord, I need to file.
But you can claim your parent. They don't have to live with you either. If you are financially responsible for your parent and you provide assistance for them, you take them to doctor's appointments, get their medicine filled, whatever the case may be, take them back and forth here to there, you can file your parent. They do not have to live with you. And that's a $500 deduction.
Well, what about
Well, I can already see the wheels spinning. So, but yeah, a lot of people don't know that. The parents do not have to live with you to be a deduction.
Well, I wouldn't have known that. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
and the thing about it, what amazes me is the mileage. I mean, it's like 50. What is
It's
it?
53.4 cents
A mile.
a mile that you can write off.
And that's to and from the doctor.
Or anywhere, jobs. I mean, if you're filing it for work, that's what you file through.
Well, you know, you think about this. If you're going to, just say Chattanooga.
That's what, 28 miles from here?
Yeah.
It's something like that.
At least.
Yeah.
Let's just say 30 miles.
Okay.
Okay, and you're looking at 53 cents.
Yeah.
That's like $30-something a day.
Yeah. It's like $31, yeah.
A day.
That's one way.
No, that would be both ways. I counted both ways.
Oh, you were? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Both ways.
but, I mean, people don't realize that you can write that off, though.
Yeah, I know. And I know I've had people, I've been down at the office, not this year, but last year I was there, and Tara was doing a couple of returns, and the people had talked about going somewhere else, and they were like, nobody ever told me I could count my mileage.
I know. You should have seen my mom. She has had somebody file her taxes last year that wasn't us or Tara. And she come and saw Tara on Saturday, and Tara was like, write this down, write that down. And my mom might as well have had a bucket of receipts down there with us on Saturday. But she was like, nobody ever told me that I could do this.
Well, I think that
I think so many people think that they can
just
get on
want to hush.
TurboTax. You know, that's what I hear a lot. And it's kind of like an interview thing. They're like, do you have this? Do you have this? Dependents, yada, yada, yada. But they're not going to tell you the stuff that you don't have. Like, if they don't know that you have mileage. They're not
And
really
you know
going to
it's
ask
not a
for
one
it.
size fits all.
No, it's really not. So don't depend on just TurboTax. Come see us down at Taxmasters 101.
And the thing,
take
like
care
I
of you.
said, the thing that I love is they say that they'll do the taxes. If you don't like what they say, then
You can
they'll
take it
give you your
somewhere
stuff
else.
back.
We
Don't
won't
owe
charge
them
you nothing. Yep. And we'll match anybody's price.
You know, that's how I think she has built that business up the last couple of years. Because
Well, that and matching everybody's price. There's some people out there that like do taxes in their basement and charge people, 80,
And-
$90.
okay, and then like school teachers, don't they get a discount?
Yep, and police officers too.
School teachers and police officers
Firemen,
and firemen. So what kind of a discount?
10% discount
Wow. Okay, so go see Jessica
at Taxmasters
at
101.
Taxmasters 101, which is where the turtle is out here on
Yeah,
the road.
turtles out there.
So that's great.
Yeah.
Oh, and I noticed you had little gift bags you were giving out.
We do. We have little gift bags. We're gonna have a popcorn machine down there soon, and a cotton candy machine. I had a little brain thing, but yeah, cotton candy machine down there for the
So
kids.
you take walk-ins.
Take walk-ins. Don't have to have an appointment. And we're closed on Wednesdays, but I will come down if I have an appointment that needs to come in on a Wednesday.
Okay, so what's your number? What's your phone number?
423-635-9883.
Because I'll have somebody ask me that. 9883. I've already had somebody ask me that. 423-635-9883. Okay, so Jessica at Taxmasters. Taxmasters 101.
Taxmasters 101.
Okay, so bring all your stuff. She'll file your taxes. She's here on the main street where the turtle is. There's signs up out there everywhere. So, okay. Well, I want to thank you all for coming today, or for listening to me for coming. Thank you for tuning in today. I hope we've had some useful information for you. And go see Jessica, get your taxes. If you get a big refund, go see Keith Ware up
Yeah,
here.
put it in. Invest it.
He'll take you to
Yeah.
lunch at Thatcher's while you're to discuss some financial planning.
Yeah.
Be great.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'll see you next week.
You've been watching Around Town on KWN Community TV Channel 7. The views and opinions on tonight's program are not necessarily those of staff nor the management of KWN Community TV Channel 7 and Dade County Broadcasting Incorporated. Join us every week for another edition of Around Town on KWN TV 7.